Back. We're doing quite a few of these today, just because I've got some good lighting during the day that makes it easier to see these. This spread is from a day trip that I took to the Indiana State Museum, which is in Indianapolis, Indiana. And I'm actually going to do a fairly simple layout on this, just because there's a lot to look at in the pictures and I don't want to make it too busy to see. So I'm actually going to block the photographs very close together, and usually when you do that you have a space in the middle, and just want to show you how I'm going to fill that space. So I'm not leaving any space between the photographs, and together they will all tell a story. I've already stuck down these two pictures just to make it a little easier to get the other ones in place, and I was about to run out of tape, so I need to put new tape in. So I used the last few double-sided tapes to put on the back of this. So I'm going to go ahead and place this. This is my arm bracelet ticket, and I love to put these in the scrapbooks just because it shares the name and it's a piece of ephemera from the event. So going to slide this one over. This is actually a postcard from the museum store, as well as this patch, and I'll show you how I'm going to put that on here in a bit. But we'll move these just a little bit aside so we can do this. I took a picture of this Pipe Creek sinkhole because this was actually not very far from my house, and apparently it's one of the largest deposits of calcium in the world, because a bunch of animals millions of years ago massive calcium deposits. So I just thought that was very interesting that that little piece from my home was in the museum. But sometimes when I have a hard time finding a good picture of the outside of the building, or I want it to use it as a title piece, it worked nice. So right there, you know where I was at, the Indiana State Museum. Sometimes I buy the postcards and then don't use them in the scrapbook, which is fine, because then I write some cool stuff on it and send it to someone who I know will enjoy getting some mail. Usually it's the person I went with, but this trip I took all by myself. Okay, it looks like that tag is not going to come off. So again, a patch. A lot of tourist museum stores will sell these. I like to buy them. I do not affix them to any furniture, but we'll try and get a lot of. Okay, what I'm going to do, because it's not sticking to the back side of the patch itself, it's got a clear background, so it's a plasticky background, so it's making it a little difficult to stick to. Put her straight on there, and then I'm just going to put it right in here. And I want to be careful not to block those words, so it'll go a little high, but there we go. That kind of helps to fill the space in the middle of that page. So that page is done. It's harder to see because it's faded a little bit, but this is the Imax theater ticket, so I saw a movie while I was there, and you can see the date, and the date on it is the 22nd of September. And so I'm just going to push it down just a little bit so I make sure it's in the right place. There we go, and I'll set that there so I know where to put it. So this ticket now is helping to place this spread in a time frame, and that'll make it a little helpful to not have to journal what was the date that I was at this place. It's tiny, a little hard to see, but you can see that. These two pictures go together. At the museum, every county has a piece in the wall, the outside wall, that represents the county, and so those two went together. So I lived in Grant County. So I took a picture of the plaque and the carving that went with it, and I thought it would be cool to get it on this page. So again, being very careful to place those carefully, and I am going to put that over the top of that. This is going to serve as the information in the middle of those pictures. Sometimes I leave those open, but I do think those gaps look a little funny if you just leave them plain. So I try to put something in there usually. Oops. There we go. Let's get that tightly. It's very important to get these in the right places, because when they're all fitting together, if you don't, then it creates little gaps. And then just a picture of some woolly mammoths, which they did have in the state of Indiana. These are outside the museum. So there we go. Pretty simple spread, but there's a lot of information on there, and I didn't want to create too busy of a spread, making it difficult to see. So I hope you enjoyed this, and we'll have some more to come. Have a great day. Keep scrapbooking.